Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
At Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, we're proud to be locally owned and operated because we're not just a bank, we're family. When you call, you'll be greeted by a friendly representative who's ready to discuss your banking needs, as well as offer our competitive rates on CDs and money market accounts. Our loan decisions are made in-house and never sold to a secondary market because our commitment is simple. You matter to us. At Lawrenceburg Federal, we offer all the conveniences of larger banks with a personal touch. Join us at Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, where community, trust, and service come together.
LUS is committed to our customers, from providing and maintaining energy-efficient utility services to friendly, helpful customer service. LUS is there. At LUS, we're always challenging everything we know, every day. We strive to improve efficiency and reliability while focusing on our responsibility to our customers and the community. It's our promise to provide dependable service to our customers every time. Because we don't just work in Lawrence County, we live here too.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
All right, welcome everybody here to X Sports Today. AJ Good, Taylor Plott, Michael Marks. My computer just doesn't want to stay powered up. I think we can make it through.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah. Guys, we are 8 days, a week from tomorrow. It's going to be Christmas time. Mm-hmm. You guys getting that feeling yet?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love the holidays. Always a good time with family. And then, my mom's birthday is 2 days before Christmas. So, I mean, those 3 days right there, the 23rd to the 25th, it's just a great time for in my household.
Yep, getting ready. I think we have the first family gathering on Sunday. And then the others will just end up being Christmas Eve, and we'll just go from there. But obviously looking forward to it. My favorite time of year, fall and winter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And I've already delved into many, many Christmas movies. I think I've watched Home Alone 2 about 3 times now.
Yeah, my son is obsessed. He calls them Kevin 1 and Kevin 2.
Kevin 1 and Kevin 2.
He doesn't know, doesn't really know the names. Mm-hmm. And he thinks Marv and Harry are brothers. Even though there's a theory out there. I don't know if you.
I was about to say, I think I've seen that the one that they are brothers.
They're lovers.
I'm not bringing that up to my 3-year-old by any shape of the imagination. I do love the Home Alone movies. Tomorrow night, we're breaking out the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Got to.
Your mom was 23rd. Mm-hmm. My birthday's the 22nd.
Yep.
My daughter's is the 28th. I'm sure your mom, like me, has a lot of horror stories being born that close to Christmas.
Despises it.
So your birthday's next Monday?
It is.
Kelly's is also on Monday.
Yeah, that's right. We're both 22nd.
We're both 22nd.
I'll go ahead and share some stories. I know Taylor's got a bolt at 2, and we were going to discuss some Christmas stuff, but we'll just kind of get into some of it now. Not once, but twice, guys, did my parents, when I was going to get a new video game system,
I know exactly where this is going.
Video game system on Christmas. Not once, but twice, gave me the games before they gave me the system because they got them confused.
Right.
The Sega games got confused for VHS tapes.
Oh, no.
Which, in the packaging, I'll give them some grace.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I got a PlayStation. And remember, PlayStation games, and you remember this, PlayStation games and CDs came in the same cases.
Yes.
Okay.
So they thought they were giving me CDs. They gave me the PlayStation games. I was like, oh, thank you, Santa. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I just go ahead and have it? I know it's coming. They're like, nah, Santa's got to hold back on it. I'm like, I think Santa approves.
And I was one of the guys that opened my gift smallest to biggest, and I remember I was 7 or 8 and opened, and I got a Wii game, and I didn't have a Wii at the time, so that was pretty exciting.
You knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Well, most of the Christmases that I remember that involved video games. By this point, it was when my stepmom was now around, and she made sure that anything video game related, any games were after I got the console. She made sure about that.
Yeah, Jim and Norma were not that smart at all. It's just wild. There was one time, like, I don't know if you guys, I think this restaurant still exists, but we have one in Charleston. It's a chain restaurant barbecue called Smoky Bones.
Okay, I've heard of it.
I still love it. Like, their smoked turkey and their ribs. It's like some of the best I've ever had. Their smoked wings too are freaking fantastic. And they used to have a place up in Charleston. They don't anymore. So my parents asked me, like, where do you want to go for your birthday? We'll go after church, which was on a Sunday that year. I said, let's go to Smoky Bones. That's my joint. Let's go. And then they come to me during church. Well, the rest of the family kind of wants to go to this place. I'm like, whose birthday is it?
I get to choose here.
Yeah, this is my choice. Well, if we want everyone to be there, we got to go there. I'm like, what are you talking about? So, and also, it was in high school. It was my senior year of high school. I'm going to church because we used to do our youth group on Monday nights. So church was Sunday, youth group was Monday. And then you had Sunday and whatnot. But basically, the youth group got the big sanctuary, however the deal. And we had a pretty decent-sized youth group. And my mom calls me on the way and says, hey, do you mind stopping at the store getting some 2 liters and some bag of chips and whatnot? There's, my brother-in-law was a youth pastor. Caveat there. I don't know how I still allowed him to marry my sister. By the way, he didn't ask till after he proposed.
Oh.
Okay.
He's lucky my dad's a really laid-back guy.
Yeah.
But and he actually asked me during this party. That's another side note that we're going to go down. But anyway, so I'm driving, and so I pick up, and it's my own money that I earned, whatever. I don't care. I'm giving back to the cause of Christ, whatever the deal may be. So we go to the service, and my brother-in-law goes, all right, everybody, just to let you know, we're having a surprise birthday party for AJ. He never really gets birthday parties because his birthday's so close to Christmas. We're all going to celebrate number 18 for him tonight. So I'm having a great time. I mean, the party was great, don't get me wrong. Then the reality hits me. I'm like, did I just buy the food and drinks for my birthday party?
For your own party?
What in the world is wrong with you people? So there's been some others. And then my birthday gift, was it last year or 2 years ago? My birthday gift that I opened on Christmas, because obviously we live here. My parents and my family, most of my family outside of my wife's side is all in West Virginia, and there's a little bit in Florida and the Memphis, like the Mississippi side of Memphis, I must say. But so they give me, we drive in, they give me the presents, so they gave me a wrench and socket set, which I've used a lot, which when you got little kids and you got a lot of little toys, you don't realize how much you actually need that, right? So my dad goes, oh yeah, interesting story about that. There's this guy at our church, everyone loved him, he was a handyman, and man, he got in this really horrific crash, his body flung out of the
I know where this is going.
He wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and it was really bad. He was dismembered. The funeral was really sad. By the way, that was a socket.
Jeez, I knew that was coming.
My wife, who has heard me tell all of these horrible stories about being born on December 22nd, looks at me and I go, we are putting that in the bank. That is now risen to top 3 in Jim and Norma's silliness.
Oh, that's something.
Oh yeah, he died. By the way, that's his tool set you got.
He just kept going on, and I'm looking at this. My wife is holding my young son. He's talking about body parts flying everywhere. I'm like, what is this, Game of Thrones? Just give me the socket. Said it came from this guy that died, and move on.
Yeah.
I can be okay with that.
I would say I don't know if my mom necessarily has any horror stories like that about a birthday. I mean, now it's nice that I'll be able to buy her Christmas gift.
Right.
Now that she won't have to pay for me to buy her Christmas and birthday presents. So it'd be something nice. So I think I'll treat her to something pretty good this year.
That's just like one of those stories. I have I have a couple family members that are notorious for doing this. Well, they will go on a spiel. Yeah. It's like trying to tell you about somebody or whatnot, and then all of a sudden they'll just insert this little random fact. Oh yeah, they're dead now, by the way. It's just like,
yeah.
Did you have to put that in there?
Yeah. And that must just be like an everywhere thing. 'Cause I feel like that's how half the stories around here end.
It's my parents are at that age. You know, they're both in their 70s with a lot of their friends, and there's some family members. But my parents are so bad especially when we come in. You know, I got my two young kids, and like, do you remember so and so? No, you know, I'm like, guys, I haven't lived here in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Well, you know, they died, like, you know, lethal injection. You know, they thought they were putting the medicine here, put the medicine there. They went out. I'm like, oh, that's great. Don't know them. Feel bad for them. I'll pray for their family. Actually, I won't, because I'll totally forget about this story like in 2 minutes. But they're like, you know, do you remember this person? Oh yeah. Well, oh yeah. They came to church. Started coming to church after you left. Like.
Then I don't know. Yeah,
that's exactly why you know them. They came in after you left.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like what, like, oh wait, it's my daughter taking her first steps. Like, oh yeah, you remember this person? We just came back from their funeral. It's awful.
It's like whether it's like the conversation, like they could go on this just entire thing about this person, give you so many great details, and at the very end they're just like,
yeah, they
died. It's like, okay,
yeah. It's great. It's crazy. But, yeah. Do you guys... Okay. Do you have a worst gift that you've ever been given?
Ooh. I feel bad because Santa one year got me a telescope, and I'm pretty sure the thing broke right when I touched it the first time, and I got it when I was like 9 or 10, and I don't think it ever got used once. Unfortunate. I think I would have liked the gift, but I was scared that I had broken it right when I touched it. So I think the telescope will get that top prize.
The only thing that kind of comes to mind is it didn't necessarily break, but it ended up not being compatible. Yeah. And in order for me to actually play it as a video game, in order for me to play it, I needed to end up getting like a true like gaming computer tower, which is just a ton of money. So I love flying, and so I would the flight simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Play that in high school.
The first time that I played it, my granddad had it, and this was like Flight Simulator 98, I think is when it was.
Wow.
So I'd play like every single one, and I think there was like a big gap between, it was like Flight Simulator X, which came out in like 2014, and then the one that they had in 2020, which was just supposed to be so realistic. Well, I wanted it, but I told my stepmom, I said, I need a gaming computer to play this because the computer I have, it won't work because the graphics are just so incredible. And so they got me this gaming laptop, and it worked for about, I think, a couple weeks, and then it started, I guess the GPU or something, it started like wearing it down, and I ended up like not being able to play it. I hadn't played it for I don't know how many years now, but it was like that was like the best flight simulator game I got, and it's like now I can't play it.
It's like John Cena's hill turn. Worked at the start.
It
was just ended terrible. Yeah.
You talk, okay, I'm trying to. I remember one year my aunt Tammy got me they live in Florida, but they sent me a sweatshirt with a sparkly teddy bear on it, and my mom made me wear it like the last day to school. And
you're like Ralphie in the Christmas Story.
Yeah, really.
So, you know, when Kevin talks about, you know, when he's sitting in what was it? It's in the first movie. He's talking to Old Man Marley, and he's saying, you know, yeah, I've got this sweater. You know, it's not like that in the second grade. You can get beat up for that. Now, I was bigger than everybody. But I certainly got ridiculed for this. You know, their heads are in the right place, but I'm pretty sure that bear had a bow on it too. So, but my mom.
You're looking real
like,
pretty.
I'm about to say you look pretty.
My mom was just dead set, like, you have to wear this. Your aunt and uncle got this for you. They spent a lot of money. I'm like, whatever. Okay, just put it on me. I'll wear it for a day.
I would say, I think my parents would have been like, at least take a picture and then you can put it back in the back of the closet.
Not Norma. Norma is just like you don't talk to that woman. She just does whatever she wants, and you just go along with it, which is what I've been doing for 41 years coming up on Monday.
There was oh geez, how old was Jessica? This is my sister. She got I know she was like in elementary school. I know. Well, she ended up getting like this makeup kit, like nail polish, everything like that. And I had like fallen asleep on the couch. We had opened up our presents, had everything, and it was late morning, and I was still tired, so I just ended up passing out on the couch. And she got this nail kit, makeup kit, just tons of stuff. And I woke up, I started walking around, got to go glass of water, stuff like that. Yeah. I come back to the couch, prop my feet up. All of a sudden, I catch this sparkle on my feet, and I look down, and Jessica has painted all of my toenails with like this glitter something, and I'm just like, what is that? And she comes around the corner, and she says, "Oh, goody, you're awake. You look so pretty now." I'm just like, take it off, please.
Yeah. At least they got your feet.
She got my feet,
Didn't get your face. I remember my parents, because my mom had so much makeup, and my sister doesn't wear a whole lot of makeup, but she wears some. This is their grand idea, because, back in the day in the 90s, you had, like, I think they're called caboodles.
Yeah.
Like, it's this big box, and you had all these different things. My parents, instead of giving my sister a caboodle, got her a tackle box.
Oh, wow.
My sister used it, and she said it was great, but I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like it said, it was Plano. That was the big ones back in the day. It said
I've actually heard of that. People using like tackle boxes and toolboxes for nail supplies.
Yeah, and for like rings, jewelry, stuff like that.
I also have another. Just came to me a horrible birthday story. So when I was living in Bluefield, West Virginia, I was dating this mom of three. Backstory: her husband had passed away from cancer 5 months before we started dating.
Oh no!
Bad idea. She's a good person, don't get me wrong. She is a great person, and she's got a good family, all the things, and clearly I've got a good family. Everything's great, don't get me wrong. So we go to see my hockey team in Columbus. Like, I pick her up, make the whole way, and she's really awkward. The game is great. Like, we're having a good time, enjoying it, eating, Blue Jackets lost in overtime, or in the shootout, but that's another thing. So we're driving back. Dude, we're not even out of Ohio yet. She breaks up with me in the car, then falls asleep. I've got to drive another 3 hours and 45 minutes in pissed off silence, driving all the way back on my birthday. I've been dumped 3 times on my birthday before.
Okay, I would say you win.
Yeah, he wins on that one on my end.
I would say my bad birthday memories are like, my birthday's in the middle of July, so I was always the pool party kid. And man, July 17th, there was always a thunderstorm. We'd have a pool party and be in the pool for maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah. April 29th for me and my birthday, so it's not real pool season yet, but I mean, good outdoor stuff, going fishing, stuff like that. Obviously, we'll have some thunderstorms. You can almost guarantee there's going to be tornado outbreaks at some point during the week during my birthday. What is it? Side note: what is it with girls that have like the worst possible moment to break up with you or give you something to where you're like, okay, I can't do that, so we got to stop. It's like, if you know for a fact that you're wanting to do this, go ahead and say it. Just
don't wait till Valentine's Day.
Don't wait till Valentine's Day or Christmas. Don't wait till your birthday. Don't wait till like months down the road where you're just like being drug along. As you can tell, I've had experiences with this. Like, I can tell that you're off. I can tell that you're wanting to possibly say that. Just say it.
One of them was I took like 3 days off from work, and I never used all of my sick days. Any job I ever had, I never used all of them, just because I enjoyed my job, and I really never had any excuses to use them all. And I took 3 days off from work. I came in, and I was going to do all that. And I woke up to a breakup text message that morning. And, so like I still took my days off, and the thing we were going to do, I went and did it.
Yeah.
Kind of awkward. It was supposed to be meant for couples, and like, hi guys.
I'm dating myself right now. Thank you.
I'm that old saying, I'm going to date myself now. Sound like I'm a youth group girl back in the 90s, early 2000s. What's your family traditions? What we got?
Christmas?
So, my dad's side of the family, we meet up with them, and we do Christmas on New Year's, or on Christmas Eve. We meet up, have breakfast, eat, hang out, open gifts, nap, all the classic stuff. And then mom's side of the family, same thing pretty much, but on Christmas Day.
It's kind of been a little, not like messed up now, but it's been kind of more going in different ways. For the longest time, what it was we would end up going to New Year's Eve service, and then my uncle would have people over at his house. We still do that. We'll play Dirty Santa. We'll play some other things, and just kind of hang out, have a good time, and then go home, stay over at my parents, and then we'll just do Christmas the entirety of the day. Ever since my granddad on my stepmom's side, her dad passed away, I think it's kind of turned into they do Christmas Eve Mass because he was Catholic, she grew up Catholic, so they did that, and then going over to my uncle's and then going back home and enjoying Christmas. So that's kind of been the routine kind of for the past several years.
Yeah, man, Christmas Eve Mass is the longest one of the year. Yeah, I'll be there Christmas morning.
Yeah,
we my mom's side of the family gets together and opens presents on Christmas Eve. My dad's side has always done it on Christmas Day. We used to drive over to where my dad's family is from. Now I believe they come. I haven't been able to be a part of that because of our family dynamics, with my wife's family being in Tennessee and my family being in West Virginia. I do Christmas Eve is always like, you grow up like Home Alone and some of these other that you have the the Griswolds, the Christmas turkey or the Christmas duck or whatever the case was. Like we always did, my mom's side always did finger foods, and one of my responsibilities, I still love it to this day. I'm going to volunteer and do it when we go home on Saturday after the Lawrence County game at Giles County, is going to get the shrimp cocktail. It's a giant shrimp platter, which, by the way, I'm allergic to shellfish, so I don't partake in any of this. But we always go to the sketchy seafood joint next to the bowling alley in South Charleston. This thing is on the river, and it's funny. You literally pass. What did we used to call it? Like it's a row of strip joints.
Yeah.
Like this one section of this town, it's just a row of strip joints. Like, you just drive by, you don't look, you don't tell your kids about it. Then there's a bowling alley.
Daddy, what's that pink sign over there? Don't worry about it.
Like shack beside it, and that's where they always get the shrimp platter. I mean, like they have sit down where you can go in and eat, but like I've never seen anybody eating in that place, no matter when I go.
But y'all
we
go.
pick it up, and I'm like, this is like tradition. Yeah. There's always like chicken tenders, and my sister and my brother-in-law are big foodies, so there's that part of it. But when we used to go to my dad's side, it was always like, the turkey and the chicken, and oh man, making the old school like cornbread, homemade biscuits in the cast iron skillet, like my mama on my dad's side used to make. She used to make the most unhealthy foods ever, but she never weighed more than 95 pounds in my entire life.
Feels like it always goes that way.
Yeah, yeah. God bless her heart. But again, none of my grandparents are still with us. But is there anything overrated about Christmas that you all don't like?
I'm gonna kind of go opposite. I used to think that the food was the most overrated part of Christmas. As I've gotten older, that might be the highlight now. I'm not. I'm 22, so toys and stuff like that aren't necessarily a big thing. Really, the food's really grown on me. I love getting together with the family and just eating. Love it.
Overrated part. So, I'm gonna say this as the 30-something-year-old now I am. I don't like waking up early anymore and doing the Christmas.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I'm waking up at 7. I remember my parents said, you do not get out of bed until 7 a.m. And I would be up in my bed, up the door at 6:59, 6:58, just like watching that clock. And as soon as 7 o'clock happened, right out the door. Yeah. Now, don't wake me up until like 9:30.
Yeah.
Heck, I might be up at 10.
Yeah.
It's at this point, I think the overrated aspect is waking up very early in the morning. Yeah. Let me have my sleep. I'll get up when I want to get up, and then we'll just go from there. Most of the time, I'm up when everybody else starts to get up.
Yeah, I would say I'm going to have to agree with Taylor on that one. And also, I think, probably just because I haven't experienced one, I think the idea of a white Christmas seems a bit overrated. I hate driving in the snow. I just feel like that on Christmas Day would put a big kind of downer on things.
Well, I tell you one thing, won't have it this year.
No.
It's going to be like 70 degrees this year.
Growing up in a northern, we're kind of in the middle of the north and the south. We're not claimed by either. We're just kind of in our own thing. But I can think of maybe one Christmas in West Virginia where we had snow, and it wasn't like it was like maybe that like enough just to make I can legit remember one time it snows. Now it's most of the time it's been cold. It's probably going to be a little bit cooler up in the mountains than what would be here, but the travel aspect of it, I still love driving. Don't get me wrong. By the way, I just drove to Disney World and back through the middle of the night. I'm a psycho. My brother-in-law calls me a machine because I can do it and have no problems. But travel, because you go there and you feel like you're just rushing to do everything.
Yeah.
You can't really settle in, and then boom, Christmas comes, and then you're rushing to get back
right.
and do all that and stuff. And having kids, that part of it, because. By the way, if anyone's at First Presbyterian preschool, shut this stream off right now. To get up and make sure all the toys and stay, because you got to stay up and put all the toys together, and then then the kids wake up and all of that. And of course, I can put my son to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning and he'll wake up at 6. Because he knows Santa is supposed to come.
Oh,
Which, by the way, okay, you can flip the stream back up. We got special permission from Santa Claus that we can do Christmas. He's going to get his presents on Saturday before we go to West Virginia. So we had to write a special letter to Santa to make that happen. So
had to give him a heads up. I like that.
Yeah, had to give him a heads up. Taylor, I know you got to leave here in 5 minutes. Is there anything in the sports world that's on your mind?
I was watching Get Up this morning, and I caught the part where they were talking about if DeBoer needed to have either obviously win at Oklahoma or make a playoff run to not necessarily save his job, because his job's safe in the eyes of Greg Byrne and everybody, but safe from the fan base standpoint.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with what Greeny and I think they had what's his name? His last name's Rogers. He was a quarterback Jordan Rogers. He was a quarterback at Vandy many years ago. And they're all on the side of that. The fan base needs to stop looking at him for the glasses like Nick Saban glasses. And I completely agree. I will right here say that the Alabama fan base, including myself, was spoiled from 2009 all the way until 2023. And we've known nothing but winning. We've known nothing but championships, whether it's SEC or national or both or whatnot. And here's a guy who is a very, very good coach.
Yeah.
And if you look at the records, he actually has a slightly better record than Nick Saban did during his first 2 years.
Because if DeBoer wins the national championship, he'll finish his first 2 seasons with less losses than Nick Saban. He has 7 right now. Saban had 8.
Exactly. So, I mean, you look at that, and yes, of course, you can say he's no Nick Saban. I don't think he's going to go and rattle off, 8 championships or whatever it was. But they made very valuable points, which is the fan base. I know that there's a good portion of it that is still going to go after him if they lose to Oklahoma and doesn't make a playoff run. They're going to want his head. But I do truly think that there is a good portion of the fan base that is in the reality section, whereas he's no Nick Saban. He's never going to be a Nick Saban. Yes, we probably are going to end up losing maybe a couple games each year now. I honestly think it's harder now to go undefeated than it had been in years past. So just from that aspect where it's I don't think this is a must-win for him, but there's a good portion of the fan base that will have his head if he lays an egg at Oklahoma, and that's another back-to-back 4-loss season. I think last season had a sour taste. I think there were a lot of components like Milroe that just didn't mesh with his scheme that he wanted to do, yet you still won 9 games. That's pretty good in SEC. And this year you felt like you had a bit more of a mesh. You kind of got some injury problems, so you kind of faded away a bit towards the end. You still managed 10 wins.
Right.
I mean, that's not bad at all. So same thing. And I feel like I'm kind of a guy that I feel like I'm more of a realist when it comes to Alabama sports, and I can take off my crimson shaded glasses. But for his sake, I hope he wins at Oklahoma, because I don't want to deal with that part of the fan base which is just get him out of here. He's horrible and everything. It's who are you going to get that's going to be better?
And that's exactly it. I kind of look at Alabama football right now as Tennessee women's basketball post Pat Summitt.
That's a good comparison.
Every game Holly Warlick lost, and their record was still really good every year. Every game they lost, Pat Summitt would not have lost that game. Is every fan saying that? And eventually, they had enough of that and got her out of there. Same thing happened with Kelly Harper. It was losing games that Pat Summitt wouldn't have lost that way. They would have rebounded the basketball better. with Caldwell right now, it's the first time we haven't seen that argument be brought up a bunch. It's just, be happy with the program.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's going to just take some time, and maybe 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Whoever the Alabama coach is at that point, they just, it's not Nick Saban wouldn't have lost this game or something like that.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to move on. But it's going to take time.
Yeah. Real quick, the funny thing that is, you mentioned that, Pat Sutton would never lose that game. There are games that Nick Saban lost that you would even say Nick Saban shouldn't lose that game. He had bad moments. You go and play Auburn, and you just end up laying an egg.
Yeah.
You have those games. He had games against South Carolina, the Garcia game where he was just like, holy cow, where did this guy come from?
Yeah.
But you have his moments and stuff, and I feel like DeBoer has had its moments, but the spotlight's just so much bigger on him now, and he gets more nitpicked than he probably should.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, Taylor, it's that time. I know you got to
It
get
is.
out here by 2 o'clock, so Mike and I will be back. We'll take a look at what's going on in the world of sports, and we're going to discuss our thoughts on John Cena's retirement match when we return.
Are you looking for a non-factory job environment? Livingstone Freight Solutions is a 3PL company that began managing warehouses in Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. With our multiple shifts and experienced management team, our goal is to give you, as an employee, a safe family work environment and competitive wages. We offer a wide variety of employment opportunities from forklift drivers to management level positions. We also strive to offer a competitive benefit package and PTO options. For more information or to apply, visit us at livingstonefs.com or give us a call at 931-269-3255.
Why should you bank with Employee Resources Credit Union? We offer a wealth of services, including mobile banking, video banking, bill pay, and more. We also offer loan rates that are lower than those of our competitors. Employee Resources Credit Union has been a financial pillar since 1964, providing long-time support to members of the community. Join us and become part of the ERCU commitment, not for profit, for service.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center. Let our family take care of yours.
Shop McMaster's Home Gallery for furniture, appliances, and more. And shop quality, shop convenience, shop service, shop local. A family-owned business with a long history of serving the region. We're a one-stop home furnishings destination. We feature brands you know, competitively priced, backed by professional installation and service. You can trust that we'll take good care of you before and after the sale. For your home, shop smart. Shop McMaster's Home Gallery today.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good here with Michael Marks. Bryant is doing some church stuff, and Taylor is going to get a back X-ray, make sure everything is on the straight and narrow. There, I probably need one of those too.
I was just about to say that sounds really good right now.
Oh my gosh, I'm just a massage, a chiropractor, just something, just to send my body back in normal, the normal graces. Well, Mike, some more. We've got a lot of college football news. Starting right off the get-go, just was something we were talking about at the break. Nation's leading passer, messmaker out of North Texas. It's in the portal. Probably no drama.
Yeah.
You know where he's going. He's going to Oklahoma State. And I was telling you, as one of my teams are in the Big 12 in West Virginia, I'm a little afraid of that hire because I like that coach. I like that offense, and now he's bringing his guy with him.
Yeah, I would say I was telling you during the break about his story. Messmaker was a high school defensive back and punter, was the backup quarterback, never started a game in high school at quarterback. Eric Morris lets him walk on at North Texas, and then as a true freshman, almost 4,200 passing yards as an 18-year-old. I mean, it's insane. And they also have a running back, Caleb Hawkins, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
He's a freshman as well, had some really crazy stats. I think he would probably you would probably see him hit the portal, 1,200 rushing yards, 23 touchdowns last year. So that North Texas squad, if Eric Morris can find a solid defensive guy to come with him to Oklahoma State, watch out for the Cowboys.
Old school Big 12.
Yeah, they're going to be running up and down the field.
To some big news, we got another coach fired today. Ohio University, there in Athens, fired Coach Brian Smith for cause Wednesday, saying Smith violated his contract by engaging in serious professional misconduct and participating in activities that reflect unfavorably on the university. School did not provide specifics on Smith's misconduct. Smith, who went 8-4 in his first regular season as a Bobcats coach, had been placed on leave on December 1st for undisclosed reasons. We vigorously dispute Ohio University's grounds for termination for cause for Coach Brian Smith, his attorney Rex Elliott. Oh, I know that guy, said in a statement. He is shocked and dismayed by the turn of events, and we plan to fight this wrongful termination to protect his good name. They have defensive coordinator John Hauser will lead the team in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl on the 23rd. Hey, your mom's birthday.
Yeah.
It's Festivus.
Christmas Eve. It's Festivus.
The Festivus for the rest of us.
I didn't even think of it.
Anyways, I'm not trying to make light of a serious story here, but that's what's going on. So Smith, who was 45, was promoted to offensive coordinator last December after Tim Alvin's departure for Charlotte, received a 5-year contract through 2029. If he had been fired without cause, he would have been owed $2.5 million in remaining salary.
Yeah, I would say it feels like nobody knows what's actually going on here with Brian Smith. The quote that the university released is very kind of vague. Engaging in serious professional misconduct and participating in activities that reflect unfavorably on the university. I would say I don't want to speculate because we obviously don't know what's going on, but it's something pretty big. And I would say he's been on leave since December 1st, so hopefully this is something that Ohio can recover from. But you got a guy that went 8-4 in his first year, and it ends like this. Not a great look for the Bobcats.
Not a great look at all. And especially with Michigan, it was like this is what this guy did.
Yep.
I covered Ohio University for 10 years because they were in our market in Charleston, and they're in Southeast Ohio. By the way, Joe Burrow's dad was the D coordinator for a long time, and I know a lot of people still at that school. He must have done something really bad because they give you a lot of grace up there. And again, they can, the school's kind of hidden. It's a beautiful campus. I love going to Athens. It's a great small college town. But you must have done something pretty bad to kind of get in this part. To the group of 5. To the Power 4, the ACC will roll out its new 9-game conference schedule in a modified form for 2026. The conference announced Tuesday with full 9-game slate beginning in 2027. For the upcoming year, the ACC is calling a transition year. 12 of its 17 schools will play 9 conference games, with Clemson, Georgia Tech, Florida State, North Carolina, and Boston College just playing 8. Those 5 teams each have multiple Power 4 opponents already scheduled outside of the conference. So this is like
as if the ACC wasn't already a mess with their tiebreakers and stuff last year with the 7-5 team getting into the conference championship. Now you have 12 of your teams playing 9 games and the other 5 playing 8. So what happens if you have 2 8-1 teams and 2 8-0 teams? Are you gonna punish the 8-1 teams for playing an extra game? Because technically 8-0 is better than 8-1. I just think it's a mess. I'm hoping they find a way around this, but they're going to need to pick up an 18th team. That it's going to boil down to that you need to have an extra team so you can
divisions.
Yes, or I would say you got to do something to solve this out. I would say I hate to say it, but it feels like either A, Notre Dame should join the ACC, or B, SMU should go elsewhere.
These teams play multiple. Clemson's got LSU at LSU, and South Carolina. Georgia Tech has got Tennessee
and Georgia.
And Georgia. Who does Florida State?
Alabama and Florida.
That's right. North Carolina. Who do they have? I love that.
Are they playing at TCU again, or at TCU this year?
Might be right. I love FBS
and then I think
schedules.
Boston College played Michigan State. So
they've got TCU and Notre Dame.
Ooh.
And then they go to UConn. That's not a Power 14, but the TCU game is in Dublin, by the way. Then was the other one Boston College?
Yes.
They have.
I think Michigan State was their Power 4.
Cincinnati, Rutgers, and Notre Dame.
Okay.
So they're playing 3 Power. Okay,
that's a bit of a rough look.
That's a rough. Poor Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
So okay, I get it, and I like that they did it because these teams are, and then they'll roll out the full thing in 2027. But also on top of that, Mike, like now you've heard the ACC, Big 12, and the SEC are all going to require their teams to play at least one Power 4 opponent outside of their non-league games. Big 10 has not agreed to that yet. But it's funny, like you have all of these teams, like they're trying to maneuver schedules to get more of an Indiana-esque schedule, but now it's like, West Virginia and Alabama canceled the series, Tennessee and Nebraska canceled the series, and now their leagues are like, you need a Power 4 opponent.
And you know what's really funny? We were talking about Indiana kind of spearheading this.
Yeah.
Looking back, their non-conference schedule was actually pretty difficult.
Yeah.
They had Old Dominion and Kennesaw State as their first 2 games. Now, their FCS opponent was Indiana State, but
didn't Old Dominion win 9 games?
Old Dominion won 9 games. They're playing in a bowl game.
10?
Yeah, they won their conference. So we joked about it beforehand, but
that's why their strength of schedule was freaking through the roof.
Yeah, because they actually did schedule some tough teams there. But I think we're going to see it probably for a while, at least until the Big Ten wants to jump on it and agree to forcing you to play another Power 4 schedule or another Power 4 team on your schedule. That we're probably going to just continue to see what we do. They're going to play three nobodies, and then the Big 12 and the ACC and the SEC will try to mix and match their teams. But it kind of looks like the Big Ten is separating themselves from everybody else in this.
But will that hurt them though? Because
it should, but I feel like that they're at the point where they're so top heavy that it's going to make their conference look good. Because Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State will probably get back there. Indiana now. I mean, they've got some really good teams at the top. It's just
unless they have an ACC type year where this gets really muddy, and then you didn't play a really tough schedule out of conference, and you're going to start to see some of these Big Ten teams get away from the Notre Dames.
Yeah. Well, notice how they're at the end of the regular season. We were talking about 10-2 and 9-3 SEC teams. There wasn't a single 3-loss, or maybe even not a 2-loss Big Ten team being talked about because they hadn't played anybody.
Right. So might want to think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's a nightmare scheduling wise, but if everybody else is doing this and you want that bigger piece of the pie and you want to kind of separate yourself from the group of 5, so to speak, that's.
But you look, the Big Ten has won the last 2 national championships, and I think that maybe they're. I'm not going to say lackadaisical, but slightly easier scheduling has been cause for that. There was David Pollock did an interview with Caleb Downs, the safety up at Ohio State, and he asked him, he said, which was tougher to you, the Big Ten or the SEC? And he was talking about, as a freshman in the SEC, you had to be ready every week because you were going to get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
The Big Ten, you might have 4 or 5 of those a year. You're not going to have 9.
Look at this. I mean, how many teams of Mississippi State take to the brink?
They lost to Texas A&M by 3 points.
Yeah, Tennessee in overtime.
Yep.
Georgia, they played them good for a half. Mississippi's Ole Miss, they played them good for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter happened.
I think the only game Mississippi State really got ran out of the building was that game against Georgia.
Yeah,
I would say,
home, which that you and everybody else at this point. Well, speaking of ACC, you see Georgia Tech's backup quarterback, who was probably in line to be the starter, Philo, who's the Georgia all-time leading passer at his high school. He's now in the transfer portal.
Yeah, and to think of some of the guys' records he broke, the guys like Jacob Eason, Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. I mean, Justin Fields. The amount of talented quarterbacks that have come out of Georgia is unreal.
This makes me see it firsthand.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, when you were down there, it was probably the hotbed of all of that stuff.
Man. It was a lot of fun.
This makes me think that Georgia Tech may have an idea of what they want, a guy they want to bring in. Lagway's in the transfer portal, a mobile guy. Kenny Minchie, the backup from Notre Dame, is a mobile guy. He's in the portal. Rayola,
healthy.
Again, I think that I think it's kind of like the head coaching carousel, that there's just so many guys available that maybe they want to look elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mike, let's get into the controversy in the world of fake fighting in the WWE. John Cena is done. His wrestling career is over. With what were your thoughts? I know we liked Saturday night's main event. The Cody Obafemi match probably got cut short a little bit because he started bleeding from the ear on that spot. That was pretty good. And certainly made Obafemi look pretty good. The women's match was great. The tag team match was
awesome.
No pun intended. AJ Styles was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it really was. Other than even the slip that he had and the way they recovered, I'm like, That was great.
Yeah.
Like, I could watch that all day long.
I would say I'd seen Javon Evans fight a couple of times earlier in the year as one of those NXT guys, and I had my mom and my girlfriend at home with me. I was like, y'all want to sit down and watch this. This dude is just.
I mean, it was just. It wasn't 10 minutes, and it was just boom, boom, boom.
Well, and I'd say it felt like forever because they were just moving all over the place. It was great. I like John Cena's final match. I know this may be a bit of a hot take, but I think that was a storybook ending. That's exactly. I think that's how it needed to end. With him kind of tapping out, realizing that he wasn't he's not the same guy, not the never give up that he used to be. I think him tapping was the perfect way to go, because you can't have him go out winning, because then what's that going to make Gunther? Oh, I lost a 50-year-old John Cena. And you couldn't make him pass out, because then he can't have his thank you speech and the walk off and the take the shoes off and stuff like that.
I don't have a problem with Gunther winning. I kind of wanted John Cena to win, just for them to change some things up because of
they gave you a lot of hope there at the end.
Yeah, like the old time-honored tradition. I'm like, well, there's a lot of guys that work behind the scenes and they didn't get that time-honored tradition. Like, they got the win on their way out. There's several examples of that. Like, hey, The Rock's last match, he won. That wasn't his retirement match. Or the Undertaker got to go out on top. Hey, it wasn't for a championship or anything like that. And I don't mind at all Gunther winning, but hear me out on this.
Okay.
So, you built this guy up for 20 plus years. Never give up. It's hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up. It's on the t-shirts. And then, okay, John Cena, he's got, oops, I hit the thing again. He's, when they put his arm down to do the old school, he's about to Super Cena or Hulk up, and he puts up the okay, and then his arm falls and he passes out. Okay, he loses, but he didn't tap out. Gunther still looks strong. Then Gunther comes out Monday, and this is the promo he says. Y'all need to hire me for this. This is the promo he says, you're right. John Cena never gave up because I didn't give him a chance to give up. I choked the life out of him. I squeezed the life out of him. Goldberg at least had the dignity to tap out before he knew what was coming. And guess what? AJ Styles,
you're next.
Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, all of you are next.
And they kind of hinted at that Monday when they had asked Gunther to leave.
Ridiculously booed out.
I mean, that was an all-time level boo. And AJ Styles sitting on his car when he's waiting. So I think that maybe they're trying to set up Gunther to be that next Randy Orton, the legend killer kind of thing.
That's great. I mean, he's. And they needed him to recover after he tapped out the J at WrestleMania, which I thought was not a great finish.
I would say hindsight, at the time I thought it was fun. Hindsight, that made it look terrible.
It's not a good finish, and especially since they're saying you tapped out, so you needed something to make him look strong, and that's fine. And again, I would have loved to Cena, okay, and then boom, and then he comes out and he just says, you know what, he didn't give up because I didn't give him a chance to give up, and then you cuts this huge, and then the boos is even more rained down on him. The fans certainly let Triple H know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
I think that's not just a John Cena thing. I think that's just the whole 2025 thing.
Yeah.
Because what are your thoughts overall on his retirement year? I'll give my thoughts, but I'll let you talk first.
So I jumped in a little late. I watched the Royal Rumble, but I didn't.
It's kind of where it started.
Yeah, I didn't experience much in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. So I really picked up at WrestleMania. It had its moments, but it was kind of the way I came home to watch I was at home watching Backlash back in April or May, and I was explaining to my mom that John Cena's the bad guy this time, and she goes, "How is he the bad guy? Because for 20 years that's your hero, that's your Superman. How do you make him a bad guy on his way out?" I think the turn was cool. I think that they may have had something cool planned with it with Travis Scott and The Rock and all that. I think with the whole Travis Scott falling out really doomed it. But I think him turning back face to be a baby face the remainder of the way, a lot of people didn't like it, but I think it kind of fit. He was just tired. He's like, you know what, this bad guy Cena isn't cutting it. I'm going to be good guy Cena, and then we got to last couple, 3.5 months. It was pretty good.
He had some of the better matches in his career. That AJ Styles match was good. The one with Dom was great. The one at SummerSlam with Cody was incredible.
Yes.
Not many of us, not even young Cena probably could have pulled that off. The heel turn initially was great.
Yes.
It was awesome. Like The Rock comes out, Travis Scott comes out, and then boom, the facials. And WWE did it for the viral moment, and it worked because it was on ESPN. It was
Everybody
on
knew
Good
about
Morning
that.
America. It was on local TV news that John Cena is heel. It worked. they just didn't follow through with it, which is like, okay, you want to bring, you want to boost ticket sales by telling everyone The Rock is going to be there. You want to do this and do that, and oh, Cody, I'm coming for your soul. No matter how dumb that is, but like you tell The Rock, you tell Travis Scott, which now we've come to find that Travis Scott was training to be a wrestler.
Yep,
and he got to a certain point and said, "No, dude, this what you all do, I'm not down for." But okay. Pivot.
Yes.
You don't have to make him a wrestler. Just say, okay, well, now we're going to have you just be the side piece or have you be the manager. Like, you can't create this and just say, well, he didn't really want to get in the ring. Like, well, you don't have to have him get in the ring. Have him come out to that stupid song. God, I hate that song because it gets stuck in my head, and I'm just like, it's the dumbest song ever. Like everything else that God does is dumb. Which, by the way, watching the Netflix documentary about his whole his thing and how him and nobody else and his team took responsibility for that, how terribly they handled it. Totally. I mean, I didn't have a high opinion of him anyways because of wrestling. And then I watched the train wreck of that, and it really came down. But it's like, okay, we're going to bring you in, but this is the commit. Before we start this, before we even go there, this is a commitment we need out of you guys. If we get you for this, we have to have you for WrestleMania, both of you. And then we got to have you for this and got to have you through that. Can you commit for that? Because if you can't, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how people that make that amount of money that have those high level decisions do very little planning.
Yeah.
And I think this whole John Cena run, they really did him a disservice because a lot of it was just not well thought out.
Yeah. I would say I really think that, because I think WWE in 2025 as a whole is probably getting the thumbs down.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't want to blame it on this, but I feel like most of it has to do with that retirement tour. Is they had to cater.
Literally took the
they
words
had
out
to
of my
cater
mouth.
2025 to John Cena's retirement tour, which I understand.
He had to win number 17. How did we get him to win number 17? Which, by the way, that was great.
Like, the road to WrestleMania was great. It's just the fight was awful.
Yeah,
and the ending.
And the lack of a follow through, and then all the responses afterwards. Rob going on Pat McAfee and saying, "Well, I didn't want to take away from it." Like, then why'd you show up in Elimination Chamber?
Yeah,
like you took away from it there, which is okay. That's good. That you didn't really take away from it. You actually, John Cena still shone. The story was still about John Cena. Like, I don't know what you were. You and Brian Gewirtz, your butt buddy, was telling you about it, but it was still about John Cena. Yeah. Like, continue the story. Like, and I'm with you. I think too much was catered to this. Too much was centered around it. And now they're at a point, it's like, well, okay, he's gone. What did we do?
Yeah.
And like, you've got some guys in NXT, Javon Evans, Obafemi, like those guys, you're about to go to 3 hours on SmackDown. Those guys need to come up now. So, yeah, the Cena run had some good moments, but overall, like, they were just, it felt like WCW in the very late 90s, early 2000s when it fell apart. It felt like everything was flying by the seat of its pants. Not much of it made sense, but the only reason they got away from it because it's John Cena and it's the last time you're going to see John Cena. Okay, here's 2026. What are y'all going to do now?
Yeah, this is going to be a big make or break year for WWE. I think they've started to realize this year that the whole TKO thing maybe isn't working. Now, obviously, there's so much money put in that. It's not like it's going to fall apart or anything. But they might need to start be taking creative a little more seriously looking forward because now it felt different on Monday Night Raw because it kind of does feel like we've started a bit of a new generation now. Get some of these young guys up because there's a ton of young talent right now, but you got to give them a spotlight because the argument that Braun Breaker it can't cut a promo.
He can't.
He's got a little better.
He's got a little better,
but he can't because he's never been given the opportunity because we're still listening. And I love these guys to death, but we're still listening to CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns fight.
That's and I'm with you. Like we need how many times do we need to see Punk, Roman, and Seth? Like, there needs to be finality to that. And I think some of the finality got halted because of Cena. Now, we got some good stuff because of that, and I think it intertwined at times well. For the most part, it didn't. Okay, we need some finality. Now, okay, Punk is fighting Braun, and Punk's promo the other night was
pretty good. Yeah,
really good. Like, that's old school Punk. Like, Braun Breaker's promo sucked. Punk took advantage of it. Now, but then Austin Theory comes back and the crowd goes meh. I mean, he takes that mask off. I'm like, we're still pushing guys that Vince tried. Remember, Austin Theory was the last guy that Vince really kind of gave the jetpack to, and all of us went, No, I mean, it's nothing
Yeah.
against him personally, but he is just not main event material. You put him with, I don't mind him in the group. I think he actually works really well, and that this is going to make him better, and he's going to be a more natural heel, but that kind of like goofy, douchebaggy little heel that he was doing with Grayson Waller, like that wasn't good. I didn't like it. Like people wanted to see him get beat, but not get beat because they hate his personality. They just want to see him get beat and get off TV, which thankfully he did. Hopefully, selfishly for my guy LA Knight, he's going to be off TV for a while. Hopefully, apparently everything we've seen is 2026 is going to be a big year for him.
I think they've set him up for it. I really do.
Yeah,
they've started to put him in that main event picture a little bit more. Start giving him title fights.
Which by the way, I don't want Bronson Reed landing on me on a trampoline, let alone a car. So hopefully, like, he goes away for like a couple months.
I would say I think they maybe have set him up for a Rumble return.
That's what my boy Clint Brazier keeps saying. He's going to come out number 30.
Oh, like that would
there's been no mention of him or nothing. And all of a sudden, here's number 30. 3, 2, 1, bro. That place will.
Oh, yeah.
Because Monday Night Raw, that was a massive pop. The camera was shaking, like. And he needs to tweak his character a little bit. Like, just he doesn't need to be a part of a faction, doesn't need to be a heel, doesn't need to be a face. He just needs to be
that
himself.
tweener.
He needs to be the tweener that doesn't trust anybody. It worked for Stone Cold. Go out there and just raise hell, give the Vision all they want, all of those things.
Hot take. I actually like the little Joe Hendry R-Truth Miz thing. They're right before. I love it. Yeah. I'm glad you love it. It was just
I love Joe Hendry.
We needed we just needed a little fun moment there, and you had there was the SmackDown where you saw that the Miz had taken Joe Hendry's ball out. And then you have the moment the Miz comes out and was like, "Hey, I should be part of John Cena's final, fight," which maybe he should have. And then R-Truth comes out. You've been messing with Nick Aldis's balls, and then looks at it, says Joe Hendry. Then he pops up. It was perfect. I thought that was a nice little feel good fun moment right before the final match.
They've been doing that in NXT. Like, don't say his name.
Don't say his name. He'll pop up.
Joe Hendry and say it. Like, we need some comedy in both shows, and I think
because I think we're about to be at the end of R-Truth. Sadly, I mean he's getting in his 50s.
He is in his 50s.
Yeah, I would say so.
He has a son playing college basketball right now.
There you go. Enough said right there. Because Scott Steiner also has a son that's a senior in college right now at Jacksonville State. So
and he's a beast too.
Oh, yeah.
But it's. You can still use R-Truth for comedy, but bring him up there and let him be like that goofy guy that the serious heel just cannot get rid of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because R-Truth with the Judgment Day and little stuff like that, it's fun.
Yeah.
And you need a little little laugh when there's some serious
Sammy
moments.
with the bloodline.
Yes.
That was great. So you need WWE back in its heyday had a good amount of comedy. The Job Squad, DX, you had a little bit of comedy. So you need that. But, well, hopefully, we'll just chalk it up that, 2025 was what it was. It's over. Hopefully Triple H redeems himself, because if that crowd I'm afraid that crowd in DC was reflecting not just what they thought about the end of the match, but
that kind of felt like this is your year in review.
Yeah, this is your year in review, and it's 19,000 people who paid a ton of money. By the way, the biggest arena gate in pro wrestling history. They're letting you know your thoughts of what you did to them on the way out, and you need a huge 2026 creatively to keep them in there, because it can go down like that. And things like they've done with Cena's run.
Well, look how downhill WWE went immediately following the Ruthless Aggression era. It took a bow because creative got unserious.
Yeah, it got unserious. It got PG, and
And there were some good times in the mid 2010s, but it really didn't pick back up till the Bloodline thing started in late 2020, early 2021.
They're making too many Vince-esque decisions, and they're trying to tell everybody Vince is gone. You better start proving it. Or that business is going to go down. Your ESPN deal, your Netflix deal.
Because there's a lot of people that have said that ESPN is not happy with their deal. What they've gotten so far. Because look at every PLE that's been on ESPN. WrestlePalooza was a huge flop. Crown Jewel was all right, but I mean, other than that, Survivor Series sucked. I would say I haven't been able to talk wrestling with y'all in a while, but Survivor Series sucked.
It wasn't War Games; it was Board Games.
Yes,
it's so predictable.
Like the John Cena Dom match was kind of fun, but everything else was just like, really? That's it?
I mean, ESPN is like, hey, you guys start showing us stuff, and I hope they start putting pressure on these guys to make that happen. Well, Mike, we got one more show tomorrow, and then we're all busy doing stuff on Friday. So, and then we're going to take Christmas week off. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully the whole crew will join us, and we're going to preview the playoff
that's
coming up tomorrow. So for Michael Marks, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 1:30.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports